right, welcome everyone. Again, Tom Carnevale from Sentry360, Sentry360's ISC West booth preview. For those of you that just joined us, again, we are going to be having live Q&A at the end of the webinar. So the way to do that is at any time during the course of the webinar, you have a question, hit and find that little hand icon, so you raise your hand and keep it live to the end of the webinar, and we'll be doing live Q&A, and I'll be unmuting your headsets and phones, but we'll be muted during the course of the webinar so that everyone can hear clearly. So I'm really excited. This is, it feels like ISC West comes faster and faster every single year, and we're here again. April is tomorrow. Already in 2016, and I don't know if I'm getting old or if time is just flying by, but it seems to go faster. So, Sentry360 has been an exhibitor at ISC West for 7 years in a row. We typically, this is the industry, main convention that technology companies introduce new innovative, products and services to the market, and we are no stranger to that. And we have a really big year lined up this year. But we also wanted to make sure that anyone who is new to Sentry360 or new to ISC West or anything, you got to know us a little bit first. So we're going to go down the line and kind of briefly do an introduction to who Sentry360 is, what our core competencies are, what are some value-driven services that we have that differentiates us from the competition, and then we're going to get into big unveils. I'm really excited. So let's move forward. So who is Sentry360? We are a pioneer in immersive imaging 360-degree technology. We've had 9 years of organic growth. We have several patents on multitude of different technology, from 360 imaging to IP configuration to streaming video to storing video on appliances that have embedded servers and switches. We believe in the one lens, single sensor philosophy, and that's not just because we're really good at it. It's because it's part of our overall, low cost, high efficiency system design. We believe the more sensors and the more components put on a PCB, the more heat and the higher the failure rate over time. And we've been really consistent over the years in developing this type of technology and have the reputation of our products that stands behind it. We furthermore have an incredibly diverse product line in the panoramic space, resolutions up to 12 megapixel, and we're going to be introducing some new technology in that field today, and which shouldn't be a surprise, but we also have a complete different direction that we're, again, I'm teasing, surprise that we're coming out with here in a few slides. So our organization is focused on customer support and design services. Most product manufacturers, they give you a specification, they give you a product and say, you figure it out. Well, our company started, I started in the industry when I was very, very new and fresh to the market. I started as a system integrator, and I used best-in-breed technologies at the time to develop a total solution for my end users. The reason Sentry360 exists is because time and time again, products didn't do exactly what they said. And so I don't know if it was a seduction with technology or what happened, but I, had this passion to create product and services, and so Sentry360 was born in part out of frustration that products didn't do what they said they were going to do. And there's more to it than that I'll speak to in a moment. Furthermore, our entire product line is ecosystem driven. Everything that we build, everything that we develop works within an ecosystem of different video management software partners and storage servers and analytics. And we are committed to continuing to bring new technology to the market that is backwards compatible within the existing system, ecosystem that we have. And furthermore, after 9 years of organic development of imaging, optics, and software, we feel that we have one of the best overall performances in low light, image quality, and bandwidth consumption. So that's some bullet points about who Sentry360 is. We've also been incredibly honored over the years to have great success and be named Product of the Year in some categories, and also one of the 12 awards that they give out at ISC West. We won a few years back with our Sentry Edge product. So continuing on, we believe we're a company for the system integrator that is easy to win with. And let me explain some of these extra layers of value that we have. We offer actual design services for system integrators. We want it to be a team effort, that we go in and not just give you a bunch of part numbers and specs, but we actually make product recommendation. What technology is better utilized here in specific applications or others. We actually have design team, CAD drawing, and we can do very simple PDF customization as well to represent image quality, field of view coverage, bandwidth, cable routing, and everything included, so that we partner with the system integrator and develop a package together to win a deal. That's what our company is best suited for, is working very closely with the system integrators of the industry, because we know their frustrations better than anyone else, because we were one. So we also have developed over the years incredible tools that calculate storage, bandwidth, pixel density as well. And so a nice representation of that is this frame that we're seeing now. So in many different applications, a user can look at 200 pixels per foot and say, that's the image I want. That's beautiful, that's gorgeous. Give me the lens, give me the camera that gives me that image. But if you look right beneath it, 50 pixels per foot could be giving them the information that they need instead of what they want. And having the ability to calculate and articulate the cost efficiencies between the two is something that our tools deliver for you, to say, okay, well, if you want 200 pixels per foot, this is the optics that we're going to need, this is the kind of camera, this is the long-term bandwidth and storage requirements. But if you're really looking to identify faces at this length, at this height, this is what we can achieve at this cost. So we just feel that everything should be transparent, and the end user should have all the options available to them when they're committing to a capital expenditure. Another tool that we have is field of view and pixels per foot that kind of quantifies mounting height, product line, individual products, and distances. So we want to know what is the precise field of view of a camera and how many pixels per foot. Are we going to have a very telephoto, very limited angle field of view, or are we going to have a wider field of view with a lower pixel density? These are the kinds of tools that, working with Sentry360, you can achieve and develop cohesive solutions for your customers. Obviously, it can all be done on tablets, and a thing that we don't talk about it enough, and when I'm personally talking to our salespeople and our tech support, is the extensive knowledge base part of our website that we have. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos, questions, and Q&A as part of our FAQ section of our partner portal. So if you go to Sentry360.com and for free register for our partner portal, you can have access to all of these tools free of charge to be used on a tablet or a mobile device or your desktop, anywhere you need. Another incredible tool that we have at Sentry360 is a free camera configuration tool. Well, so does everyone. That's not very cool, but here's what ours does that's different. It can configure up to 250 cameras in batches. So if at certain areas of the building are shut down or at different periods within a shift, you can configure cameras in batches at a time in a specific IP scheme that you want. Furthermore, this is a maintenance tool. SentryView can actually broadcast in batch groups or all at once up to 250 cameras in under 60 seconds. So when there's a firmware upgrade, you don't need to go to each individual camera, load the file, and make sure it reboots. You can actually group these into sections and upgrade your camera's firmware in a very streamlined, efficient process. So we think that's just an incredible tool that reduces labor cost and eases maintenance costs over time. Finally, our project registration program. This is new to Sentry360, and it's new because we wanted to do it right. We've been in this industry for a long time, and we've seen, project registrations be highlighted from some of our competitors, but the reality is I don't think there's a lot of meaning behind some of them. And, I remember back when I was a system integrator and I would develop a project around a brand, I wouldn't necessarily get the protection that I wanted. My project could be infiltrated from outside threats. Furthermore, in a lot of cases, I would have to, reduce my profit margin. And when we're building systems that are built on a high-quality solution, there has to be a predictable profit margin built into that. Otherwise, we're really moving on we're working with a moving target. And so what Sentry360's project registration program is all about, it's ease of use. You can do it right online on Sentry360.com and register your project. We do protect you from any outside competitors, so it is a protected project registration. And then you get a meaningful discount, not 2%, not 5%, but 10 to 20 to even some cases more, depending upon volume, a real meaningful project registration. This is essentially what we've modified over the past 12 months. This is part of our business model. If we don't have if you've done a project with Sentry360 and not had it registered, you really aren't engaged with us. This is what we need our customers to be involved in, and there is no minimum. It can be a 2-camera project or a 2,000 camera project. And furthermore, we back the protection up by having no online pricing. Our business model is to sell our products in a commoditized fashion to any online retailer. More and more, we're starting to see that in our industry. Even Amazon is getting into not only selling cameras, but services as well. And we all need to be conscious of who we partner with and how. When big billion-dollar companies like Amazon are getting into design, sale, and services, there's something that we need to focus on to make sure our businesses are in line with our objectives. So getting into the next phase of our webinar, our big unveil. So we've been working on some of these technologies for a long time, and we're really, really excited about the debut of Sentry Mobile. Sentry Mobile is Sentry360's entrance into the body-worn camera market. It's an incredibly growing part of our industry, and we see this as an extension to the physical installed systems. So I've been thinking about this for years and doing body-worn cameras, and then in the past year and a half it started to get really popular, and I thought, oh well, maybe we missed the boat. But then when I started to do a lot more research, I've noticed that these body-worn cameras are incredibly cost prohibitive. Their storage modeling is very proprietary, and it forces users to pay monthly recurring storage for long-term retention. And I look at all of our customers, and this was not only a product innovation, but a business model innovation for us in the realization that all of our customers could use this. It's not just for law enforcement, for police officers in the field. This can be used for service technicians, for stadiums, for educational and banks, and a variety of other applications. Any application where you need to extend the reach of your fixed video surveillance system that's hardwired and mounted in specific areas, Sentry Mobile can be a solution for you. And so to speak to some of the elements of the features, it has built-in Wi-Fi, so you can stream video back to your head-end video management software solution. It has built-in GPS, so if you have mobile technicians or police officers or employees out in the field, you can track them and make sure that they're secure. It also, of course, has a wide field of view, not 180 degree, but a very crisp 140 degree panoramic image from one of the Sentry Mobile cameras. It's vandal proof. You can drop it off a ladder. You can hit it with a sledgehammer. Incredibly IK10 rated vandal proof, all weather resistant as well, IP68, and up to 64 gigabytes of storage. So full motion video is up to 60 frames per second at 1080p. You can also have 32 megapixel images taken from the mobile camera as well, and you can actually set it to be having a sporadic every other second or many images per second that you can record at up to 32 megapixel resolution. So we've also created an app for it, so you can actually stream the video to a mobile phone. You can have the mobile phone control the camera individually or as a group. It's a very simple app that we're offering for free with all of the cameras. And I've already kind of talked about this vertical, but I think a big challenge for us is going to be, in a much bigger opportunity, is utilizing mobile cameras, not just body-worn cameras, but mobile cameras that are Wi-Fi enabled as an extension to existing physical security infrastructure. When people go in your facility outside the range of where cameras are present, that's when a mobile camera is applicable. So in all of these varying degrees of markets, transportations, logistics, stadium, entertainment, hospitals, hotels, retail, education, and of course law enforcement are incredible vertical markets that you should be talking with your customers about. So in order to kind of fully understand what mobile body-worn is all about, we need to understand what chain of custody is. So in a lot of jurisdictions, there's very precise language of how video surveillance evidence can be processed, maintained, and moved. So specific, of course, to law enforcement, chain of custody is another important process that you need to qualify with your customers. So, for example, you have multiple, multiple people in the field wearing body-worn cameras, and also, by the way, there's a dash cam accessory for Sentry Mobile that you can mount it to your dashboard of your police vehicle or any other vehicle, and then users can just take it off and clip it to their chest with a variety of different accessories that we have available. But the entire docking process of chain of custody is when they're to a secure location, to a headquarters, they're charged, and the data is automatically uploaded. We created an entire process around chain of custody with Sentry Mobile that we think secures and complies with any jurisdiction in the United States. So we have a docking, storage, and uploading process to a centralized server for long-term retention. Now, we don't necessarily have to offer recurring revenue storage for this. That is a big problem that some of the leaders that actually develop body-worn cameras that were outside of our industry thought was an incredible idea. But a lot of us in the industry realize that people need, and there's a more cost-effective way to secure long-term storage than just keeping it in the cloud. So, of course, we have a cloud offering as well for long-term critical evidence, but a centralized, scalable architecture is what we've developed with Sentry Mobile Chain of Custody. So moving on from that, we're really continuing to advance our Ultra HD section of our product line. We're making them more cost-effective, more low-light sensitive, and better optics at the edge. So our first product we'd like to show you is the ISDM 4K. So when we first launched Ultra HD cameras to the market, they were pretty expensive. Looking back at our product legacy history, we had cameras that were $2,500 and in some cases more if you combine the machine vision lenses. And we're really excited that this is a $1,300 end user low volume price MSRP with meaningful discounts for system integrators and distributors, full 30 frames per second at 4K and up to 12 megapixels at 20 frames per second with a different model. So we have remote autofocus for precise imaging, so it's a full autofocus camera and works seamlessly in with backwards compatibility with all of our different video management software partners. So we also have a bullet. It's the same chipset and actually the same lens and a bullet mechanical design with automatic built-in IR. And we're really excited. It's a similar price point. In fact, I think a little bit lower than the dome. We're finding a variety of applications for the IR dome on exteriors of buildings and parking lots for the bullet. And then we have a professional camera. So this is for those applications that need those telephoto long-range solutions with high resolution. So we have machine vision lenses from anywhere from 6 to 75 millimeters. And a big challenge we had in years past was heat and cold. And over time, no matter if the temperature changes inside or outside of the enclosure, the lenses can move over time. I mean, yes, you can of course lock them in, but things happen. And so we actually built remote back focus for precise image tuning that users can actually log into the camera, and if for any reason the camera goes out of focus, you can actually remote back focus it even with machine vision single focal length lenses. So we thought that was a really nice step for our professional Ultra HD camera series, and 20 frames per second and 12 megapixel is an incredible step for us as well. I remember years and years ago, we had a 10 megapixel camera that had a max frame rate of 6. So we're continuing to advance, and we wanted to demonstrate here a field test that we did with an Ultra HD camera. And so this is a single focal length. I believe it was, it was 25 or 35 millimeters of the machine vision lens. This is the native image on the left, and on the right is the digitally zoomed image with a gentleman and a sign indicating how long and far away from the camera he is. So if we continue down 561 feet, still clear representation of the characters and for the most part the face. And if we continue on 750 feet, you know, ask yourself, can you pick them out of a lineup as well? And obviously we can catch closer, you know, license plates in the field of view as well. 951 feet, and then showing them all together in unison, so we can see the comparison. That's one focal length, one camera, varying degrees of image quality as the user backs into the image, but a really incredible representation of what Ultra HD is all about. So finally, we feel that we've made the advancement in panoramic cameras that we've been ourselves waiting for. We've been waiting for chipsets to advance and DSPs to increase and enable us to continue to innovate our patented dewarping technology. And today we're really proud to announce the FS-IP12-360. It's a vandal-proof infrared with panoramic IR panoramic camera that fits in the palm of your hand. It has built-in client-side or server-side dewarping within the ecosystem of our video management software partners, and has up to 20 frames per second at full 12 megapixel resolution. We think this was the step the industry needed to have the single sensor breed of panoramics to be used in the category of forensic detail as well as situational awareness. So here are some images that are sectioned off from the camera working in complete pitch black scenes. So identifiable coverage in pitch black scenes is from 15 to 20 feet away, and we're even able to legibly, read characters and signs and identify faces in obviously the worst case scenario of pitch black. So we also have an intuitive IR capability in the camera. So when light goes down or the sun sets, we can actually do it in two ways. We can have it be an automatic, or we can actually do a specific scheduling of a time. Then the camera automatically goes to a day-night scene and enables the IR correction imagers into the camera. So it's done in two ways. It's an intuitive way where it can do it naturally as the sensitivity of the light goes down, or you can independently schedule it. So another incredible image from the 12 megapixel camera, obviously a great application in a TSA checkout area. Seeing quite a bit of forensic detail in a variety in all directions. Obviously, client-side dewarping can be used, but server-side allows the users to pan, tilt, and zoom in recorded video evidence. So you're recording the single fisheye view and literally able to PTZ around in all directions, or you can just have 4-sectioned images come up into the user interface. So one last note before we start to take questions. So happy to answer any questions that you have coming up. So Sentry Edge, we won an award a few years back at ISC West. This was our first non-surveillance camera product in the industry. We also have several patents on the ability to integrate a high-performing PoE switch and server and storage combined into one. And the value proposition of Sentry Edge is to really deliver a open platform solution, so users do not have to be locked into proprietary hardware, and we give them the ability to use other things. I mean, there's a lot of different video management software partners, players in the market. It's ever changing. Some are being acquired, some are going out of business, some are thriving and buying other VMS partners. So you don't want to, with your capital expenditures, purchase hardware that could be incompatible in the future. So we wanted to layer in all the necessary storage scale, like eSATA capability, and then several HDMI ports, and then USB 3.0. And overall, this is a low power consuming, high performing, open platform video management solution with up to 18 terabytes of storage that of course can connect to third-party storage, and we have a RAID support on selected models. So I think we're at the point where we can ask questions, and any attendees that wants to ask a question, we're happy to open with. Otherwise, I think we can call it a day, and anyone else who wants to come by our booth at ISC West who's planning on attending, our booth number is 12121. So thank you very much for joining. I'm waiting for questions. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to call on Colin. I see Colin's name. Colin, you're live with us. What did you think of today's presentation, if you're still with us?
Hey, Tom. Good to talk to you. Yeah, I think it's great. I think I love the body-worn camera. I think that's a smart move and a great opportunity. I'd like to get my hands on one at some point. And, yeah, I think otherwise this is great progress. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at ISC.
Oh, good. Well, it's good to hear your voice. We have a couple other questions popping in. Yeah, we're going to be shipping a bunch of these out for testing and trials. We do have an API with the cameras, to integrate the wireless portion of the camera. I mean, it's basic H.264 compression, and it has 4 simultaneous streams as well. But that wireless functionality of the API needs a little bit tweaking, and we're already in heavy negotiations and working with a lot of our VMS partners now that are ambitious about integrating it. Well, good to hear your voice. I can't wait to shake your hand next week, and thanks for joining today, Colin.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great presentation.
Thank you, my friend. We have Otto Menendez-Hernandez, and I am going to enabling your audio right now. Otto, you are live on the webinar. What is your question, sir?
My question is that I am enthusiastic with Sentry systems, but our customer, in the most cases, they don't have enough money to buy it. So we are something frustrated about this problem. How to resolve this situation? I need to find the key when I can to get a project in a right way.
Sure. Well, Otto, let me speak to both your points. I think, the first thing to do is when you're working with one of our salespeople, and, after the email, I want to follow up with you and make sure that I have all your contact details and that you're speaking to the right person here. But utilizing our project registration is an incredible way to, reduce the total cost of the solution to your end user while still maintaining a profit margin. I mean, we really believe in that as a company. If you're going to be in the business of designing solutions, video, access control, visitor management system for end users, you have to be able to have predictable profit margins. That's a part of business. That's a part of the world that we live in. So I completely understand, and that's one of the frustrations that I had as an end user is unpredictable profit margins. They would always fluctuate. And I promise you, Otto, if you work with one of our salespeople, in fact, I'll get involved on your next project and register the project with you, and get and show you, so you can articulate your profit margin, and you can maybe share some of that reduction in cost to the end user if it's applicable. But I also want to make a point that in a lot of applications, Sentry Mobile, our new mobile body-worn camera, is going to be incredibly cost-effective. This is an excellent time right now, Otto, to be venturing into different areas of video surveillance, such as body-worn mobile cameras. They're cost-effective, and a lot of some of the key manufacturers that started this as kind of outsiders from physical security priced the market way too high. So they did it on an individual product level, but they also integrated some of these mandatory services that just are incompatible with the physical security industry market of capital expenditures and storage requirements. It's just, and so that it was on top of the technology. That's why we're so excited about this opportunity with Sentry Mobile, because it's a cost-effective solution, easy to deploy, and I think there's an incredible amount of meaningful profit margin in it for our system integrator partners. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you, Otto, for joining us, and Colin and Steve and Wayne and several other people. Thank you very much, and we do have a recorded version of this, and that will be emailed to you. We will see you in ISC West next week. Thanks you for your time, everyone. Have a great day.